Zebra Products is the UK's leading distributor of premium equestrian brands catering for horse and rider. From Veridus, Amerigo, Sprenger, Equipe, Uvex and many more leading brands, Zebra's impressive portfolio includes clothing, saddles and accessories, boots for horse and rider, care products, horse rugs and helmets. Head to zebraproducts.co.uk to see where you can purchase their products from, which will help you stay ahead of the herd. Are you looking for a super stylish riding helmet that also offers you excellent comfort and is developed using the latest technology? Well, whether you're a seasoned competitor travelling the world or a leisure rider enjoying spending time with your horses or ponies at weekends, Uvex has riding helmets to suit all requirements. The Uvex collection provides the perfect combination of style and safety with high-quality materials, appealing designs, optimal fit and ultimate comfort. Protecting people is the core philosophy of Uvex, and that is exactly what they strive to do. Visit zebraproducts.co.uk to find out more.
We're getting an Olympic Games.
Tokyo. And the countdown is on.
Quarantine in Tokyo.
Big moment this.
I'm excited.
To win gold.
The Olympic Games, how exciting.
2 rounds of shore jumping.
Tokyo.
Top class eventing, the team of 3.
Big day.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
Tokyo specials.
It is spectacular.
Tokyo.
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 This episode of the Eca Ratings Eventing podcast is very kindly brought to you by Zebra Products, the UK leading distributor of premium equestrian brands catering for horse and rider. Welcome to the Eca Ratings Eventing podcast, and it is a Tokyo review show, very kindly supported by Zebra Products. Oh my goodness, listeners, what a week. What a few weeks. Few months? Year, 18 months, I don't know anymore. It has been such an absolute privilege to enjoy and to watch and cheer on all of the athletes at the Tokyo Olympic Games. It has been an incredible effort by so many people to be able to make sure that it has been able to go ahead, and so many people have made so many sacrifices along the way. And first of all, thank you, because we have thoroughly enjoyed all of the sport that's taken place. And it's lived up to all of the expectation, which there was a lot of expectation. Now, we will no doubt have plenty of shows coming up over the next couple of weeks, looking back on various parts of it and talking to lots of different people who were there and part of it as well. But this show is all about giving you some sort of behind the scenes reaction and some reaction from people whose journey we've been following very closely, not only over the last few weeks, but over the last few years as well. So we really hope you enjoy it. It is a compilation show once again. We will hear from the likes of the Eventing podcast team, that we will hear from Tracy Collett, Laura Collett's mum. How does it feel to be the parent of an Olympic gold medalist? Paula Evans of the Ginger Unicorn, Vasily de Lassos ownership. Gemma Tattersall is back to give us her input as well on everything that has unfolded in the show jumping. And look, listeners, I hope you enjoy it. We, as I say, have got lots more coming up. But for now, let's just dive into the show. And I will start by passing it over to a short conversation I had with Tracy Collett. Now, I am delighted to welcome to the show for the very first time. I feel like we all know her because we have spoken about her a lot on this show over the years. How does it feel to be the mum of a gold medalist, Tracy Collett?
Quite unbelievable.
So we are talking a day after the show jumping. Has it all sunk in? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling still quite sort of in awe of it all. Can't believe how many messages and how many people watched it and have supported her and even want to speak to me.
It's been, you did a BBC interview yesterday. I feel very lucky that we've got you on this show. Let me ask you, because you have been such a support of Laura's career, and we did a show with her pre-Tokyo, which was one of the Zebra specials, and listeners, go back and listen to it because it is an absolutely extraordinary journey to get to this point. There have been so many highs and lows, but it has been a long journey and a hard journey. what is the overwhelming emotion? Is it relief? Is it excitement? Is it exhaustion?
Probably a bit of all three, actually. It was definitely relief. And I'm just so thrilled that she achieved what she wanted to achieve, because she expects so much and gets so disappointed when it doesn't come off. So, a lot of relief and excitement, and just so proud.
I'm not surprised. How did it feel, obviously not being able to travel, because you are always at Laura's side with helping with her owners and supporting as you go. And obviously Tokyo was a pretty different experience. How was it watching at home?
I've decided it's far more nerve-wracking watching at home.
I bet you never thought it would be possible for it to be more nerve-wracking than it actually was. No,
but it was definitely more nerve-wracking being so far away, and yes, just not being part of it is
hard.
Just difficult. But it was so great to be able to still watch it, and through the power of the internet and the television and telephones, etc. Like to immediately speak to her after cross country and things. Just that helped.
Oh, what did she say post cross country? What was the feeling like then?
She said he was bloody awesome, Mum.
No, he really was. She was pretty bloody awesome as well. What about the sort of who you watched it with, and did you have a bit of a party? Were you just kind of kept it nice and quiet? What was the setup?
I was invited to lots of places to watch it, and I just said I cannot get in a car. Don't like driving at the best of times, and there is no way I can get in a car and drive anywhere. So it was lovely to be invited by lots of people to watch. So I said I have to be at home. So lots of people came to my house instead. And I had owners. I had Keith's wife and Marga, great friend of Karen's, and Hannah, one of the girls from work, so that she could work the TV with me, and she looks after the horse for me when I go away to the events with Laura at home, because I have Ray F at home still. And so she came and watched it, and Maggie, who I work with, who also owns horses with Laura and has been an amazing support of Laura's. So we were all in there, dipping in and out of various times of the day and night.
I was
watching and supporting from afar.
Yeah. And there was a real army of people sort of sending a lot of goodwill vibes from home.
And how much? And from abroad, her family abroad as well. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. And from abroad. Let me ask you, there was a slightly risky, hairy moment in the show jumping when she had a pole down. I think Dan, London 52, had a bit of a spook at the floodlights. Our hearts were in our mouth, because they were jumping under some serious pressure, and the atmosphere out there, despite lack of crowds, was no doubt electric. How nervous did you get at that point?
I was very nervous for her at that point, because there was still an awful lot of fences to jump, and I know how scared he gets if he makes a mistake. And it was just like, please hold his hand, Laura, which I know she did. And he then got his confidence and was jumping phenomenally again, like he normally does. But it was just that moment. Don't throw it away and let it down now, because it could so easily, he could have just got frightened. But he then carried on jumping beautifully, which was a great relief.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, she did. It's a mark of real character and strength of character and grit, of actually when those moments under that extreme pressure happen, you've got to be able to deal with them. And she absolutely did. What makes her so good? She's obviously extremely talented, but what do you think it is that makes her?
It's her single-mindedness and determination not to let anything beat her. That's in life that has got her to this point. She just has that determination and then hard work to get there for what she wants and to make it happen.
Yeah, and you know what? We can all take a little bit of that in life, and sort of look at Laura and think, actually, those highs and those lows. And as I said, go back and listen to that show because we talk about a lot of them there, and she talks very candidly about a lot of them there, and it is absolutely inspirational. Tracy, what's the plan? She is heading towards home. She'll be flying somewhere fairly soon, I'd have thought, and will be coming home. Is there going to be a nice big party? Obviously, COVID restrictions allowing.
I don't know. We haven't got any plans as such. The girls, she knows her mother doesn't like driving, so she's not expecting her mother to go to the airport and meet her. Alice, who is out there for the New Zealand team, her car's at Heathrow and she's on the same flight. So Laura had already said, I'll come home with Panda Mum, you can meet me at the yard. So I'm going to meet her at the yard, which I said to the girls, I'll be there, I'll come over. And they said the yard is all decorated. We want to go to the airport to meet her, which is lovely. So she'll have a welcoming committee at the airport from the girls at the yard, and I will be back at home waiting for her.
Amazing. And that makes a really good point, because obviously Tilly has been out there and has been a huge support and looked after Dan, but everybody else has been keeping everything going at home, and that is an important part of it.
Yeah, I've been there every weekend with them, and the first thing I'd say to them is, she couldn't do this without you guys, thank you, because she really couldn't.
No, she couldn't. And it's a team effort, and I've no doubt that she'll come back and that the other horses in the yard will be in great form, Mr. Bass and Da Capo and all of the others in the team, and will be no doubt picking up some prizes for the rest of the season. And actually that is a huge credit to them, as well as Laura, who gets to pilot them as well. Tracy, thank you so much. She has been a real friend of the show over many, many years, and we always appreciate her support, but she's always been a real inspiration to so many people. And I know that you've been a huge part of that journey. So congratulations.
Absolutely. And can I just say thank you to Sam, because I know that he gave her a Sam pep talk while she was out there that she needed.
Aww. Are we all, a Sam pep talk does the world of good.
Absolutely. I had a lovely message from his mum and dad congratulating, and I said the same to them. She wouldn't have done it without her Sam pep talk.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. And I'm no doubt that I know he always talks so highly of her and of you and the time that he was based with you guys. And yeah,
he's part of our extended family.
Yeah, I hear you power everybody by cups of tea, which is absolutely.
I've got one in my hand now, obviously.
Absolutely. To be honest, Tracy, you're my kind of lady. That's absolutely perfect. Look, enjoy the celebrations. Enjoy, because there's so much heartbreak and sacrifice along the way to get to this point that you've got to cherish every moment. So congratulations. And thank you so much for talking to us.
Pleasure. Thanks, Nicole.
Amazing to hear from Tracy and get her take on everything. Watching at home is hard, and you know they've been a real driving force, the team at home, but Tracy in particular has stood by Laura her entire career, and so I have no doubt that it was highly emotional. It was lovely to hear from her. Okay, next up, let's go and hear from Gemma Tattersall. Now, we have been getting her opinion throughout the week. Unfortunately, I'm not stood next to her this time, but on the phone is Gemma Tattersall.
All right, Nickers.
All right. First of all, how are your excitement levels? We are talking about an hour and a half, 2 hours post show jumping.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think it was a really fantastic result. Okay, we didn't win individual gold, but what a fantastic silver medal for Tommy McEwen. He rode absolutely with unbelievable perfection, and the horse jumped just perfectly as well. So for me, do you know what? He really deserved it. He pretty much finished on his dressage score by that 1 second over the time in the second round of the show jumping, and was fantastic. Obviously winning team gold was the main aim for them, and they did that with unbelievable style and conviction. They won by a mile. So I think it's a fantastic result.
They did. It's a record finishing score for the team performance. Can I ask you, so team performance, first of all, let's focus on that. Tom put in a brilliant clear round. Laura had a pole and a slightly hairy moment when he spooked at the water tray. As a rider in an Olympic Games, in an arena like that, how difficult is it? Because I thought she recovered brilliantly at a time where actually the horse probably could have lost a little bit of confidence, and she actually did a great job to come home with just the pole down.
Yeah, absolutely. She did so well. And at the end of the day, you know, unless you've done it yourself, the pressure is unbelievable. It's like, it's all consuming. And, you know, the horse obviously had a bit of a spook. Don't know exactly what happened. Haven't spoken to Laura yet. But, you know, these things happen. We're sat on horses. We're not sat on machines. And at the end of the day, she did so well to recover really quickly and, regain composure and jumped the rest of the round really, really well. So, you know, I think she did a great job. At the end of the day, the best jumper in the world can have one jump down. So one jump down really isn't that bad.
No, absolutely. It really isn't. The something I find really interesting is the team competition is obviously the focus for the week. You know, it is all about the team gold. It's the first time Team GB have won team gold since 1972.
Yeah.
A huge amount of pressure. But they also have to turn round and jump in the individual final within about an hour. Mentally, that must be a very difficult sort of position to kind of comprehend and to get excited, because obviously you've just won team gold at the Olympics and that's amazing, but also you've still got a job to do.
Yeah, my God. I mean, it's a really tough competition. It's the Olympic Games, and that added in is, you've just won team gold medal, so exciting, so amazing, and then you've got to refocus, get composure and not think about that for a minute and think about your individual performance and think about that show jumping round. And the course is really tough, a bit bigger. I think it's really, really, really tough, but it's what the Olympics is about.
Yeah, absolutely. A word on our new individual gold medalist, Julia Krajewski, because it has been pressure has been on her a lot in the last few years. And she came in here and, if somebody had told you there'd been an individual German gold medalist at the beginning of the week, everybody would have been looking at Michael Young on a horse that she produced. And she did a brilliant job in all three phases to come out on top of the leaderboard here.
Yeah, I am over the moon for her. Do you know what? She is such a nice girl. She works really hard. She's incredibly talented. And, I'm really pleased that a female has managed to win. She, do you know what? She really deserves it. It couldn't have happened to a nicer person and a harder worker. And, I just think it's great. And it's really cool as well that the horse is a mare. I think that's just really cool.
Yes, it is. You're a big fan of your mares. And we have had a mare win an Olympic gold medal before, but that was individually wise Ballycore back in the 1970s. So it's going back a while. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Third place went to, the individual bronze medal, they took a team silver as well, went to Vasily de Lassos, Andrew Hoy. I know you said you would dearly love
my pick. Yeah.
Your pick. I know you said you'd love a spin cross country. I'd imagine you like a spin around the show jumps with him as well, to be fair.
Yeah, he is fabulous, isn't he? And he just, Andrew Hoy is the master, and I'm sure he's, not as easy as maybe he makes him look, but the horse just looks so lovely to ride. Andrew just does a beautiful job. I thought his show jumping today was masterclass. He was so accurate. He was so good at moving on between the fences and then rebalancing and making sure he was in exactly the right place to jump clear. And the horse answered every question. And as was Tommy and Julia. So to be fair, for me, those three riders were spot on. They were incredibly accurate. They had their horses between leg and hand, so beautifully. They had the balance perfectly. They deserved to win the medals because they rode the show jumping unbelievably perfectly. So for me, it was, in the end, the right athletes won.
The right podium. What's been your highlight of Tokyo? What's been your favourite memory or favourite moment?
I think really you have to say the Brits cross country. Just totally and utterly bossing it. Just like in a league of their own, just looking absolutely fantastic. That was a great day for them.
Yeah, it was. They showed everybody how it should be done. And they've taken home the team gold for it. Look, Gemma, thank you so much. We have enjoyed having you on the show. I'm sorry I stalked you around the lorry park at Bergen.
Anytime, Nickers.
Listeners, we will get more, but now let's turn our attentions to hearing again from Paula Evans, the owner of Vassili de Lassos. Now, we have been following the journey of Vassili de Lassos for a good while in this horse's career, but we have been talking to his owner, Paula Evans, over the last few weeks, building up to Tokyo. Paula, how does it feel to own an Olympic bronze medalist?
It's unreal. It really is. It's really unreal. Every kind of emotion has been gone through today, from, disbelief, crying my eyes out, elation. I don't know. I don't even know how I feel at the moment. I'm just over the moon.
It's incredible. So listeners, we will set the scene for you. We are talking at 3:10 on the day that the medals have been decided. So it was literally about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Please tell me you have cracked open the champagne.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Was that when the team medal took place? Because team silver and individual bronze.
We waited for the individual. I wanted to make sure I had a clear head. We wanted to watch it all properly. We didn't celebrate too early, but we waited until the medals were handed out at the end of the day.
Oh, amazing. So set the scene, because you weren't able to travel in Tokyo, as we've spoken about previously. You were at home. Was it just you, David, and the girls?
It was. My David and my two younger girls. In fact, I had my second eldest and my granddaughter here today, all cheering us on. So it was quite a manic day. But all sitting here with it. I've got my Aussie T-shirt on, which was ready to go out to the Olympics, but never actually got there. And we had the added stress of our Wi-Fi went down this morning as well. So we have been struggling. We've had crowds of people around a single iPad up on the hill so that we could get 4G at the beginning. Then we managed to get our Wi-Fi back working to watch the individuals later on. But it was quite stressful this morning having no Wi-Fi.
I can imagine. What was the feeling like? So obviously he did his cross country. We heard from you back after his cross country, and all the feedback was very good. So what were the emotions like when you first woke up on the day that they were going to jump for a medal?
Well, I think secretly in the back of our heads we knew we could do it. But like I said to you in the show beforehand, he's not had a pole. It's inevitable at some point that he was going to have a pole. And then I just wished and hoped that it wasn't going to be the Olympics. And in true Vassili style, he kept them all up. So we couldn't ask for anything more, really. I mean, he is an absolute jumping machine. And yes, his dressage isn't his strongest point, which, isn't going to shove him up at the top of the podium. But my God, he's worked his way up this week. He really deserves that point, that position.
He absolutely does, and his dressage is improving all the time. But he's so dangerous because he's just so good at not adding anything else. And it sounds so easy: don't add any penalties to your dressage score.
Exactly.
But it's really difficult. And actually, only 2 people in Olympic history have ever not added penalties to their dressage score, and they are Michael Young on both of his Olympic titles, and Andrew Hoy, who did it once back in Sydney. I think it was in the team competition, and then he's done it again here. He was the only person to do so. So, I mean, that says amazing things about Andrew. Let's talk team for a moment. Okay. So you're on the hill, you're all huddled around the iPad. What was the feeling like watching all of the Australian combinations jump?
Well, obviously, we didn't really have much between us at the start, did we? I think it was just a 0.1 or something between us. So we had to match them drop for drop, so to speak. and when it was McNabb that had one down, wasn't it? Kevin that had one down, and we were kind of, sharp intake of breath, which was it Shane? Shane, sorry. Well, anyway, one pole fell, and we knew that we had to hope and pray that France followed suit, which thankfully they did. I'd say thankfully they did. You never want to gain the place of somebody else's misfortune, which is unfortunately how we gain our places up because of our dressage. We tend to have to rely on other people making mistakes so we can climb the leaderboard. But it was edgy. We knew how close it was, and that every pole that fell meant that we were climbing up on somebody else's misfortune, which it's kind of good and bad, because I don't like seeing other people fail, but we like to progress. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. And to be fair, it's very, very true. At the end of the day, it's a 3-phase competition, and there for everybody that is going to be absolutely delighted, there will be people that are disappointed as well. What about individual show jumping? The show jumping was tough in the individuals.
It was very tough. I mean,
it was tight on the leaderboard. Like, you couldn't afford to have a penalty.
No.
Could you watch? Did you look through your fingers?
Yeah, no. I mean, the heart rate. My daughter had a Fitbit on, and her heart rate was going through the ceiling. I think it was up at 160 at one point. So I don't tend to have such gadgets because I don't need them. I know exactly what my heart rate's doing, and it was through the roof. But I think we were, as it was getting closer to Vaz and Ollie, obviously we were getting a bit tetchy. And when Ollie dropped a pole, we were singing Vaz's praises, so to speak. But every step closer was just nerve-wracking until it was all over. I'll tell you something. We are very happy that Julia won. I'm very happy. We were like initially with all the bad luck and the untimely injury that she had with Samurai. I'm so pleased that she got on that podium and made history. So, we are very proud of where we ended up. It was a dream for us, but to have a young lady like Julia on the top of the podium, we're very, very pleased with the result.
That is really, really beautifully put and very well said. What about the celebrations? So obviously Steffi is out there with Andrew. Have you spoken to them? And what are you going to do?
Haven't spoken to Andrew yet because he's in the blood bank, but we've spoken to Steffi. She had her champagne open as well, so they were all celebrating out there.
Excellent.
Very, very pleased that they've got the team on side there. They were all waiting for Baz to come back from his blood test and Andrew to come back as well. But when they come back from Tokyo and our ESCON, we'll probably meet them as they come back from they'll probably be near death because of the travelling, but we'll meet them as they probably hit Summerby Stables and probably celebrate again then. I'm sure there'll be a few more champagne open.
A few more tears, a few more glasses of champagne.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what? It's such a roller coaster having horses, isn't it? And you've got to take the good days. So, Paula, enjoy every single moment of it. Huge congratulations. And thank you so much for sharing the whole journey with us. We really appreciate it.
And we want to thank you for campaigning behind Vasily all the way. We've followed your comments all the way on his spectacular jumping and rising up the leaderboard, and thanks to you lot that he's on the map really. I don't know how many people would have picked him up naturally, but thanks to the stats and that you've been throwing at him, we really appreciate it.
Oh, our pleasure. I mean, I'd love to say that we can take credit for people picking him up, but he absolutely puts in the performances. Look, let's roll on. Hopefully, yes. Paris 2024. Who knows what could happen?
We have to keep Andrew fit, I think.
To be honest, I would say Vasily is a brilliant motivator to keep fit and competing. Yeah, I absolutely would. I mean, it was his 8th Olympic Games, 6th Olympic medal, just absolutely remarkable. Paula, thank you. Enjoy the celebration. I'm going to let you go back, drink all the champagne, dance on all the tables, literally enjoy the moment. So thank you so much.
Thank you lots. Cheers then.
Oh, Paula Evans, we have loved hearing more about the Vasily story. We first spoke to Paula on the Bedmax Owners show. If you haven't listened to that, go and listen to it. We speak to actually the owners of Vasily Delassos, Paula Evans, who we've just heard from, but also Ali McEwen, who's part of the ownership of Toledo de Cursa, who took that individual silver medal, is on the show as well, plus various others. And it's definitely well worth going back and hearing the owner's story because they're such a vital part of it. Okay, now let's jump in and hear what a couple of other members of the Eventing podcast team have to say.
Oh my God, well, it's nearly midnight here and I know I'm hardly going to get to sleep, and pretty much most of social media in Australia is going wild right now, so probably nobody's going to get any sleep. But that was just the most amazing result. I mean, sitting on the edge of the chair jumping. Fantastic jumping by everybody really in those medal positions in the first team round. So thrilled with our guys. Great round from Kevin, incredible round from Andrew and Shane. Amazing round. Like, you know, Virgil, that's his rail for the rest of the year. He hardly ever has them. And then it really showed how tough that second round was. And also the ones that jump clear. I mean, what incredible horses. It just shows you the quality of the jumping that we have at the top end. So, yeah, that was amazing. Such an exciting finish. And thank you so much to Aussie guys, to Shane, to Andrew and to Kevin and to all the team behind them. What you guys have done for us and our sport. I think we're all so thankful. And congratulations to the Poms. That was amazing. And Andrew's bronze. Andrew, like, my God, you're the most incredible human being to be, you know, that successful for that long and to keep producing horses and just, yeah, I'm in awe. It's incredible. And congratulations, Julia, just amazing. Oh, and Tom, I mean, it's got to be said, that's a fantastic horse too. So anyway, that was the best viewing ever. Congratulations, everyone.
I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking, if I can think, with whatever minuscule amount of brain power I have left after a week of no sleep, that the Tokyo Olympics showcased many of the sport of eventing's best facets. The Brits obviously won team gold, 3 different characters with 3 very different paths to Olympic glory, but all brilliant horsemen and women, talented, tough, focused and extremely hard workers. And the cool thing is they won it by the strength of their cross-country riding, really, which is what eventing fans want and which is the link to that Montreal 1972 team who last took gold for Britain. Let's hope that Oliver, Laura and Tom inspire all the kids watching them and wishing that they were them to believe that anything is possible if you work hard enough. We could wax lyrical about all of them, but it's Oliver Townend's cross-country performance that somehow sticks out for me. Essentially, he was first to go, as the poor Thai girl before him only got as far as fence 5, and he showed the world just how Derek de Gracia's cross-country track was meant to be ridden, and how to ride the best 5-star horse in the world round a course that was very different to the 11+ minutes with fences of the dimensions of Badminton and Burghley rounds, which Ballamore class has excelled so much in recent years. The horse's perfect round was testament to Oliver's skill and training, in my mind. Yulia Krajewski, the first woman to be Olympic champion. Wow. She managed to put all the disasters of previous championships, of which there have been a few, and the loss of her 2 top horses, not to mention the death of her father, behind her, and step out of the shadow of her teammates into the golden sunlight in Tokyo. Amanda Bonneville, such a gutsy, feisty, cool mare, and she's got very low mileage. At 11, we can hope to see a lot more of her. The Aussies thoroughly deserve Team Silver, and what an extraordinary competitor Andrew Hoy is. 8 Olympics and 6 medals. He was riding at championship level before the vast majority of the rest of the Olympic field were even born. And I'd be very surprised if we didn't see him in Paris in 3 years' time at the age of 65. Andrew's Vasily de Lassos and Tom McEwen's Toledo de Cursa, the bronze and silver individual medalists, must be the best show jumpers eventing has ever seen. But they were also absolutely superb across country and very nearly excellent in the dressage as well. Superbly produced and ridden by both men. Hats off to them. The French proved that what might have been seen as their B team was anything but. What a sub Christopher Cease is, and what a wonderful reminder of just how good Nicolas Touzan is. It was. Nicolas is still the only Frenchman to win badminton. We don't see a lot of him outside France, but when he chooses to show us what he can do and when he has the horsepower to do it, he is one of the very best in the world time after time. Well done, the Tokyo 2020 team. Against every possible odds, it was amazing on every front. And the Japanese should be so proud of Kazu Tomoto. Coming fourth at an Olympics is possibly the worst placing you can get because it's everything and nothing at the same time. But what he achieved was breathtaking. I hope we see him again because he's too good for our sport to lose.
Hi listeners, Spike the Vet. Just feeling nice and calm. You know, it was pretty average sort of Olympics eventing and, you know, not a lot happened. I mean, other than if you were Brit, and it was amazing and we were brilliant. And I've just, yeah, it was amazing. And I'm pleased that I was out and about on the road working, actually, because I think I might have just got a bit overly carried away and, you know, open up the bottles of Prosecco a bit like Dee was in the previews and just, you know, spraying it everywhere because the Brits were just amazing, unbelievable, and like just a class apart. And that's not sounding, you know, not wanting to come across that, you know, not respectful of all the other competitors as well, but they were just a class apart and they were a fair chunk ahead at the end. And I think we said in the preview that if it all goes to plan, they would be finishing around about 80. Maybe it was a little bit more than that, but just a class apart. And weren't they brilliant? All three of them. Laura, Tom, Oliver, you know, grit, determination, resilience, all these things that they've learned in the years, you know, and I just couldn't be happier for them and couldn't be prouder of them. And, you know, and seeing photos of them on the front page of newspapers is just brilliant for our sport. And I don't know what else to say other than what will be said by other people. So, yeah, can't speak more highly of them. Delighted for the Aussies getting a silver. That was great for them. What a great team, particularly given that, you know, they brought in a few reserves. And, you know, people like Kevin McNabb, didn't he just perform brilliantly? You know, he was, you know, didn't even know he was travelling until probably the last minute. And then he gets brought into the team the last minute. So, and the same with the French. Again, you know, much changed team from what was originally picked. And they just performed to the maximum. And they were aiming... They did what was needed of them, and I can't believe I took the French off my podium. I know Nicole's already giving out at me about that. That was a bit of an error. Never mind. At least I picked the Brits to win, which was probably a bit obvious, but never mind. The rest of the teams, I think there's probably some disappointed teams out there. I think the Kiwis and the Americans were solid, but not spectacular. Tim will be disappointed with Vitali, but the writing was on the wall with its 2 show jumping rounds before he even left the country, you know, in an OI and then at Barbary, and that chink in his armour was there in the show jumping for Tim and Vitali. So, and then some of the other teams as well. It almost sort of, not wanting to say it worked out definitely to the stats, but it wasn't far off. Germans maybe underperformed a bit. But speaking of Germans, wow, Julia, I take back anything I have ever done to question her or query her or underestimate her, because she was brilliant. She was brilliant, and wasn't the horse just superb? Jumped brilliantly on the last day. Barely rubbed one. The top 3 individually were quite clearly the best horses, and they stood out. I think, you know, they were the best 3, and there they were at the top, and that was brilliant. Julia, what more can you say? I mean, she's produced 3 horses to be world-class athletes. You know, Samurai de Toe, Chipmunk, and now Amand de Bonneville. There's got to be such credit to her in doing that, you know, and wow. And the other most brilliant thing about her is, she's the coach for the German junior eventing team. She takes that so seriously. She's so passionate about it. You see her training a lot of the other Germans at events as well. Emma Brusso's her little mini me, and someone that has such passion for the sport, but with just such skill, humility, and clearly has masses of resilience. She's been knocked back with problems with her other horses, and there she was, getting an individual gold and, getting the limelight away from Mickey for once, who was clearly unlucky. But those, that's the sport, and that's where you've got to roll with. So, and first female individual gold medalist, I think that's so brilliant for our sport, and something that we should really feel empowered about, and something that we should shout, shout from the top of the buildings, because it's, I think it's important for eventing. It's important for equestrianism to really shout about the really positives that we have in our sport, about inclusivity, rather than seeing as that we might have, in inverted commas, silver spoons in our mouths. So I was delighted for that, and it's a really good story. Tom McEwen, well, God, wasn't he humble in his interviews afterwards? He speaks so well, and him and Toledo, what more can we say? Brilliant. What a jumper, and delighted for him to get the silver medal. And then Andrew Hoy, the legend that is Andrew Hoy, and Vasily, who, again, what a great horse. FOD at the Olympics. And yeah, there he got the bronze. I predicted him to get a bronze. At least I got 2 out of 3 of the individual podium right. And then the rest, the other guys jumping individually. I think Laura will be, how can you be disappointed with the team goal? Maybe a little bit disappointed with the way he jumped. I think she'd have hoped to have him jump a little bit better. He maybe looked a little tired. He was a bit tight behind. Oliver, I'm sure he'll be disappointed as well. Just little mistakes in both. Just catching some of that, that upright at fence 2 in the second round of the individuals. He'll be so disappointed with that. It just screamed a little bit like that mistake he made at badminton as well. But hey, that is the sport, and they perform brilliantly, and they are the little mistakes. And so, yeah, another Olympics done. Can't wait for the next one already. Can't wait to catch up with Sam when he's back. That's going to be great. Looking forward to doing a proper pod and not talking to my phone, which would be nice. But yeah, hope everyone loved it. Hope everyone's enjoyed all the stuff that's been done. And a huge thanks to the Equi Ratings team and Nicole for all the effort they put into keeping us all entertained and following it all through. So hopefully speak to everyone again soon, and thanks for listening.
And there you have it, listeners. A bit of a first-hand reaction post-Tokyo. As I said earlier on in the show, we will no doubt have plenty more coming your way in the next few weeks. But this is a bit of a behind-the-scenes reaction, and it's been lovely to follow some stories through the entire game. So we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. I would say the most enormous thank you to you guys that have been tuned in, because we really, really appreciate it. We've had so many messages and so many people saying how much they've loved the coverage. So thank you, because we couldn't do it without you. We hit a really big milestone on the podcast pre-Tokyo with the 1 million downloads, and we are all unbelievably proud of it. And you guys have been a huge part of that journey to get to this point. All I'll say now is we are well on our way to the next million. I've forgotten all about 1 million and I'm just focusing on 2. So no, it is very, very much appreciated. And those that have been involved in the Flit group throughout Tokyo, you must honestly have made friends for life, because it has been the most lovely place. I've only caught glimpses of it. But everybody has so enjoyed watching along together. And even if they were up on their own in the middle of the night in the UK watching, there were so many other people living it with them. So if you're looking for a lovely, friendly place to hang out where you can talk all things equestrian, then go and give it a look. And I mean, there's talk of Love Island and all sorts on there. But also, if you've ever got a question and you think, oh God, I wonder about who bred so-and-so, or what so-and-so likes to have in their lunchbox. I mean, it's that random at times. Go and look, because they are amazing. They are the oracle of all knowledge. And I often will fire a question in there and there'll be so many people that come back. So look, go and pay a visit to the Flit group if you're not already in there. If you are in there, then thank you, because you're all bloody brilliant. and there were all sorts of special games that were going on throughout Tokyo, and you should all be really proud because it was lovely. So yes, thank you to the Flick group. To the whole Echo Ratings team, they've done a brilliant job. Rosie Russell, who's helped with editing the podcast, we were all up all night, but she took over once we'd recorded and edited them at 4-5 a.m. so that they were ready for you to be out for you guys when they were released in the morning, so I could get an hour's sleep before commentating. Really appreciate it. They've all done a super job. And the Echo Ratings team, if you're not following them on social, go and do so, because they have absolutely nailed the coverage. I feel like this is an Oscar speech and my voice is actually going, listeners. I have basically not stopped talking even more than normal for the past week, and I've now sort of got a real kind of deep throaty tone to my voice that I definitely didn't have this time last week. But anyway, on that note, before I ramble anymore, before I thank anybody else, before I probably cry, it's been an emotional roller coaster. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following along on the journey with us. It has been brilliant. We've got loads more coming up, as I say. And I might even have a few show jumping podcasts for you as well this week to keep you entertained with the show jumping through Tokyo. So look out for those. Big thank you, though. And for now, I might just go and lie down in a darkened room. Thank you for listening to the Echo Ratings Eventing podcast.
Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I look forward to having you back with us soon.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more.
Listeners, we'll speak to you again soon.
One of the most sophisticated brands in the equestrian market, Cavalleria Toscana has the ambition to create products that make technical sportswear look elegant while still supporting the rider's performance each step of the way. From top quality, super stylish competition wear to fashionable clothing suitable for riding in at the highest level and wearing every day, such as comfortable breeches and stylish sweatshirts. Cavalleria Toscana brings together a range of matching equine outfits for both horse and rider. Visit zebraproducts.co.uk for more. When it comes to incorporating the latest technology, performance fabrics and innovative design, Bucas rugs are the choice of professional riders and horse owners from all over the world. From the Shamrock Cooler range, travel and stable rugs, through to the power turnout rugs, travel boots and accessories, Bucas is a name synonymous with outstanding quality. With all of their products developed with the well-being of horses at the forefront, together with time-saving technology for the owners, Bucas pride themselves in ensuring that your horse always wears the very best. It really is the intelligent choice, and you can purchase the range through Zebra Products. Tucci Time prides itself with its expertise, skill and precision for the best in equestrian riding boots. Think premium quality materials meeting Italian design, perfection toward innovation, art pieces manufactured to perform at the very top level. Tucci riding boots are the highest expression of craftsmanship, savoir-faire and the heritage of the Tucci family tied to their crystalline creativity. Tucci manufacture unique riding boots with their own story and soul, and they fit you like your very favourite thing. Tucci riding boots are now available to purchase through Zebra Products.